For over 2,000 years, we, all of humanity, have been on a hunt, a global, obsessive, fantastically expensive hunt for a ghost. I mean, think about it. We've looked everywhere. The Mediterranean, the Caribbean, some people have even looked under the ice in Antarctica. Billions upon billions of dollars have been poured into finding one legendary place, Plato's lost city of Atlantis. We've been chasing a story.
Okay, but here's the thing, the hard truth that a lot of people don't want to hear. Atlantis was almost certainly just a story, a philosophical tale. But, and this is a really, really huge but, that doesn't mean the idea of a sunken super civilization is fake. Oh no, it's very real. While the entire world was looking for a myth in the West, archaeologists in the East, well, they actually found the truth.
Welcome to Playback with another episode of history. Today, we're not just busting a myth, we're doing something way more interesting. We're validating a memory. We're going to dive deep into the story of a sunken city whose walls you can actually go and touch. A city that was hiding in plain sight the whole time, right inside the pages of ancient books.
So let's just break this down. On one side, you've got Atlantis. It pops up for the first time in a story by the philosopher Plato, basically as a cautionary tale. Before him, there's nothing. No records, no artifacts, zip. Then, on the other side, you have Dwarka. This city is a cornerstone of some of the most ancient epics in India. And, well, you can see for yourself, the evidence column tells a very, very different story.
And the level of detail in these texts is just mind-blowing. We're talking about epics, like the Mahabharata and the Puranas. And they don't describe Dwarka as some vague, fuzzy, mythical land. Not at all. These texts read more like a historical record. They give you geographical coordinates, they describe its layout, how it was built on land reclaimed from the sea, and they even tell you exactly how it was destroyed. So you've got this incredibly specific, detailed evidence that for centuries most people just dismissed as, beautiful poetry. But what happens when someone finally comes along and decides to take that poetry literally? Well, that single decision led to one of the absolute greatest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. And this right here is the key. Back in the 1980s, a man named Dr. S.R. Rao, who is basically the father of Indian marine archaeology, had this totally revolutionary idea. He looked at these ancient epics and decided to read them not as mythology, but as a guide. He saw a treasure map leading to a forgotten truth. So Dr. Rao literally took the coordinates from the texts, led an expedition off the coast of the modern city of Dwarka in India, and just started looking. And what his team found beneath the waves didn't just suggest a city might have been there, it proved it. It silenced the skeptics and proved that the ancient storytellers were right all along. And this is the smoking gun. Divers went down and found massive city walls, fortified bastions, pieces of pottery, and ancient seals. But the real game changer, the anchors. Hundreds of distinctive, three-holed stone anchors. You see, the so-called myth had left its garbage behind, and in archaeology, that's everything. Trash is proof of life. Now, by dating the pottery they found on the seabed, archaeologists were able to put this city on a real historical timeline. And get this, the ruins of Dwarka are about 3,500 years old. That puts this bustling city squarely in the Bronze Age. So why are those anchors such a big deal? Well, think about it. You don't find that many enormous, standardized anchors unless you are a massive port city. It's just common sense. This physical evidence lines up perfectly with how the old texts describe Dwarka, a major hub for international trade, a fortress built to rule the sea lanes. Okay, so we've established the city was real. It existed. But that just brings up the next huge question, right? What happened to it? How does a massive coastal city end up on the bottom of the ocean? And this is where the ancient story and modern science crash into each other in the most amazing way. We know for a geological fact that at the end of the last ice age, the planet's ice caps went through a major meltdown. This caused a huge, sometimes really fast, rise in global sea levels. This isn't a theory, it's a known event. Scientists call it the Holocene sea level rise. And coastal communities all over the world were simply swallowed by the ocean. So, what does the Mahabharata say happened to Dwarka? It says the sea rose up and submerged the city. Chills, right? The ancient epic, when you strip away the poetry, is describing a real-life catastrophic event. It's not a myth, it's a memory.
a memory of a climate catastrophe that was passed down for thousands of years.
And just when you think you've got it figured out, the story gets even more fascinating. The 3,500-year-old ruins are confirmed. But a little farther south, in the Gulf of Kambat, sonar has found what looks like geometric structures 120 feet deep that could be as old as 9,000 years. So, is this an even older Dwarka, or another civilization entirely? The investigation is still going on. And here's the real payoff. The discovery of Dwarka just completely changes how we should look at history. It suggests that these ancient epics, the ones we usually dismiss as just fiction or religion, can actually carry profound historical truths. It shows that people can remember real places and real events and pass that memory down for thousands of years.
So this is the ultimate takeaway. Our obsession with Atlantis was never really about a single place in the Atlantic. It's an echo. It's the universal human memory of a real trauma, the memory of losing our homes to the rising seas when the Ice Age ended. It's a story our ancestors all over the world told because they actually lived through it.
We spent 2,000 years chasing Plato's ghost, but the reality was waiting there patiently in the Indian Ocean the entire time. We don't need to invent a lost golden city anymore. We've already found one. Its name is Dwarka.
So, what do you think? With these new discoveries in the Gulf of Kambat, are we just scratching the surface here? Could there be an even older civilization, a kind of Dwarka before Dwarka, still hiding down there in the depths? Let me know what you think in the comments below.
If you want to keep digging into more of the history that the textbooks seem to leave out, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is Playback. Thanks for watching.